This is the Sikkim Podcast, presented by your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Waco. Online at alansamuelsdcj.com. The Sikkim Podcast is a production of Baylor Athletics. Now, here are your hosts, Brooke Bednarz and the voice of the Bears, John Morris.
Hi, everybody, and welcome into this week's Sikkim Podcast. Glad you're with us. The Sikkim Podcast, production of Baylor Athletics. We appreciate you tuning in. John Morris, no Brooke Bednarz this week. She is away, but we are pleased to have with us Baylor men's basketball coach Scott Drew. And, Coach, I appreciate you carving some time in your hectic schedule, fishing and swimming with your kids and all of that. Thanks for making time to be on with us.
It's great to be on with you. I hope everybody had a happy and a safe July 4th, so excited to be back on this show with you today, though.
What'd you do for the 4th of July?
Well, we, like everybody, you watch some fireworks and you have some good quality family time, and I think this year we've had more quality family time than the last how many years. So the great thing is, and the blessing, I think, when we all look back on this time, we've had a chance to all spend a lot of quality time, and especially for us that have younger kids that will be leaving the nest at some point, you look back and say you really had a chance to get to know them better, and it was a blessing spending this time with them.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. That is a silver lining, and you, of course, with Kelly at home and Mackenzie and Peyton and Brody, you've had a lot of time there that you normally wouldn't this time of year.
Well, several times they've asked, when are you going back to work? When's the team going to be
right.
here? Yeah. So, I know the frustrating thing for everybody during this whole process has just been trying to find the new normal, per se, getting a routine. And, coaches are so good at getting locked in, and this time of year, this is the routine. This time of year, this is the routine. And now we've gone on for quite some time where there hasn't been a routine. Yeah. And that definitely makes things for people that like structure and like organization a little more frustrating for sure.
Yeah. Have you all gotten out any? Have you traveled, or as a family, have you pretty much just stayed hunkered down at home?
Well, we've definitely tried to make sure we're following all the social distance guidelines and trying to keep everybody as safe as possible. And at the same time, we have taken a couple road trips, and it's a great opportunity to see family that maybe you wouldn't have had opportunities to do that. Good.
Fishing? Have you found time to fish a little bit?
I'm always going to find time to fish for a little bit. So, but in fact, the last Wednesday night fishing tournament on Lake Waco, we happened to win the tournament. So it's always good to talk after a win, right? Yeah. So that was and coaches, we always recruit very well if we're going to be good coaches. So I always make sure I go with someone, Kendall Lovett, who's an outstanding fisherman.
Kendall,
spends a lot of time on the water, so he knows where to put us on fish.
Nice. And you won the tournament last Wednesday.
Won the tournament. Yeah. So actually caught 6 pounds, 7 ounce largemouth, and
nice.
I think the winning stringer we had was 12 plus.
Nice, very good.
Yeah, so it was a good day.
Well, we can stop the podcast right here. There's the newsworthy event of this podcast. So very good. Where does that? Did you fish growing up with your dad, or did that start when you got here? Or where?
So that's one of the things that my grandpa had a pond. And we grew up fishing there. But my dad, when one of my first memories, besides going recruiting with him and him getting pulled over for a speeding ticket, was probably fishing in the bayous when he used to coach at LSU. So that's something he always did. And my brother, I, and my dad, we try to every other year get together for a weekend and go fishing. And there's nothing better than talking hoops and fishing, and us three spending quality time. So my dad did a great job in getting out all our backlashes and teaching us how to fish at a young age. And I know that's something that a lot of people love to golf, and our family's been more the fishing than the golfing.
Did you guys get to do your family fishing outing this year, or did that get
No,
put on
that
hold?
obviously got put on hold. So, but anyway, the good thing is been able to see them, and they're doing well. I know my dad was really bummed out. He was all excited about the TBT, and it was awesome seeing Isaiah and Tweety Carter. Tweety had a great run last night, a back-to-back threes, and Isaiah was a tremendous MVP of the game. And unfortunately, they came up short at the end, and Billy Kennedy did a great job coaching the team. But my dad originally had helped put the team together and was going to coach, and then because of COVID, obviously wasn't able to. So that was something, though. It was great seeing sports and live basketball on TV, and nothing better than watching those Baylor Bears of the past come back and do their thing on ESPN. So it was great seeing them.
That was the basketball tournament, the TBT, that is ongoing. It continues. One team was loaded with Baylor guys. Would have had more, but a couple of them had to back out.
Yeah, it's such a TBT did a great job with, first of all, the screening. So if anyone tested positive, they weren't able to play. And then some of our guys had contracts that they signed, and their clubs, because of COVID, didn't want them to take the risk of playing. And so it was going to be about half the team originally with Baylor guys. And hopefully in the future we can get a even more Baylor team. But obviously this is a little bit different type of summer than most. But it's always great seeing those Baylor vets playing on TV. That's for sure.
And I know your dad was really looking forward to coaching that team, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really excited. So my brother and I were giving him a hard time to see what his ball screen defense was going to be and what offense he was going to run. So, but he just loves people, and he loved talking with the guys and helping put the team together, and he loved catching up with the former Baylor guys that were going to play if things had worked out with their pro clubs, etc.
That would have been fun to see. Like during the summer, in a normal summer, when you have the vets back here and they play your current team, that is so fun to see. And it may not happen this year, but what have you done? How have you cultivated that atmosphere in which those guys want to come back and be back here on the Baylor campus?
Well, first and foremost, we've been blessed to have not only great guys that have contributed so much while they've been here, but when they leave, they've done such a great job of coming back and also staying in touch with our current players. And at the end of the day, peer pressure in high school and college is so powerful, and it means so much more than when coaches actually say things. So, for instance, Tweety Carter working out with one of our guys, Curtis Gerald's working out with one of our guys, Ish Wainwright working out with one of our guys, and going up and down the list of all our vets that come back every summer. And they play open gym, and then afterwards talk with their guys, or they'll work out with them. And it's so good for an 18-year-old to hear from a 25-year-old or a 27-year-old that's been there, done that, and has a chance to then help make them successful. And then follow them. A lot of our guys that play overseas, I mean, they'll stay up till 2, 3 in the morning and watch our games, and then text our guys or text us coaches. And it's something in the summertime where we call it Vet Week, when everybody comes back and our guys play against each other. But throughout the whole summer, we have guys that normally come back, and that's been such a benefit and great opportunity for our young people to learn from our past players. And from that, they get a chance to really learn a lot about Baylor and the culture and the family atmosphere. And it's just a great time. And I know for us coaches, there's nothing better than seeing the vets come back and hear how they're doing, their families are doing, see pictures of the kids and how much they've grown.
Yeah, that is fun. It's great that they come during that week for sure, but really whenever they have an opportunity to come back, those guys come back to be here, be around your program, and be on campus again.
Yeah, we have several that will come back and spend weeks, and some even try to stay the whole summer. So, again, that's such a benefit, and unfortunately with COVID and our facilities being shut down and them not having an opportunity to do that, again, I think that's a big reason why why our program's been so successful. And that's what you love about that Baylor family is once a family member, always a family member.
And you have, you just finished your 17th year here. You've got a long list of guys now who have come through here, been very successful, and then gone on. A lot of them are still playing. That's a long list.
And you can tell that you've been at a place a long time when you start to recruit their kids.
Yeah.
So hopefully the Baylor pipeline from past players will, especially in the next couple of years, because we're going to have some good height with some of these kids. I know, again, it's one of the best things about being a college coach is you have an impact more than just basketball. And then when the past players ask you about spiritual advice or business advice or just anything in life, it's great that you have an opportunity that they, one, would trust you and give you that opportunity, but two, that they believe you can still help them and add perspective even when they're 30 years old, 32 years old is awesome.
And I know it makes you proud, and your assistant coaches, who've been here a while, makes you guys proud to see these guys. Think about where they were, what they were when they got here, to where they are now, and how they are as fathers, as men. You got to be proud.
Absolutely, and some of them are getting close to age 40 now, so it's
hard to believe.
The kids are getting big and gray hair, bald hair, and it's again during the season they'll come back, watch games, but the ones that are still playing, it's hard to get away during the year. So mostly the summer times when we get a chance to see them. And again, for the guys that have played professional or still playing professional, for them to give up, they don't get much off time, and for them to give some of that off time and come back here means so much to our program.
Let me backtrack with you, talking about your dad, and folks know that you were with him at Valpo and then succeeded him at Valpo as the head coach. When in your mind, at what age did you know you wanted to sort of follow your dad's footsteps into basketball coaching?
Well, I think one thing that I always tell my dad is, and for anyone out there, really, I think anyone that wants to follow in their footsteps of their dad, it probably means that their dad did something right. I think growing up with my dad always incorporated us, allowed us to be at the gym, be with the players, took us recruiting, and from that just got a love of just how coaches bring people together. It's a diverse group coming together to form with a common goal, and seeing the good in people, and helping people for more than just 4 years. But my dad would spend more time with helping former players get jobs and being a job reference than he would in recruiting. And just seeing how he cared for people, that was something that I know I've always appreciated and loved. And around Christmas time, it's always better to give a gift than receive a gift. And I think college coaches, at the end of the day, if you really have a calling or a love for it, it's because you love people and you love to help people. And when you see people reach goals and dreams, that excites you. And that's something that I've always loved. And then the X and O part of it is something that I've always enjoyed, talking X and O's with my dad, and getting a chance to, at a young age, put together teams and help coach them. And there's just something about team sports and seeing people put in hard work and reach their goals and dreams. For us coaches, that's as rewarding as it gets, just as it is when they walk across the stage and receive their degree and diploma. And for some of our players, they might be the first person to graduate from their family, or to see them become lawyers, doctors, teachers, just whatever their calling is, and to know that you helped with that. And at the end of the day, Baylor is such a special place because they really treat people the right way and care for their student athletes. And that's why I think so many of the student athletes come back.
That's great. And how early did that start with your dad? Did you just you're around it all the time, so by osmosis, you picked up coaching?
I told you one of my first memories was going recruiting with them and getting pulled over late at night.
Yeah.
I thought it was the coolest thing, seeing the police lights. My dad told me it wasn't that cool.
Yeah.
And then from there, just working his camps and having a chance to he always when watching film or breaking down things or analyzing things, he did such a great job teaching, explaining, and letting me be a part of that, and that's something that I'll always appreciate and love. And still to this day, my brother, my dad, and I after one of my brother's games, we'll get on the phone, or one of my games. And if my dad would have been coaching last night, I'm sure we would have gotten on the game afterwards.
Yeah.
And, hey, why'd you do that? So at the same time, was so good about it. Having a dad that's in the Hall of Fame, not only does he have great knowledge and wisdom, but because of the love he has for you, he's going to tell you the truth and probably do it in a way that is correct at the time, meaning there's certain times you want to hear bad news and certain times you don't. And after a loss, sometimes he gives you the words to pick you up, and then sometimes after the win, gives you words to keep you humble. So it's great having that resource. And again, for us in the summertime, it'd have been really, really neat, the TBT, to see the Baylor team win the tournament and win $1 million, because Baylor gets a lot of publicity. The players get a lot of publicity. But I'd personally love to see my dad, because I know he'd had a blast doing it.
Good. And Bryce, your brother, is at Grand Canyon College now, or Grand Canyon University.
Yes, sir. And Jerry Colangelo's kind of helped with that school, and it's a unique school. It's a publicly traded school, and a school that's really prospered and done extremely well. And basketball-wise, that's their flagship sport. And in fact, most basketball experts would put their student section as one of the top 3 in the country.
Wow!
And they really enjoy basketball there, and I know he's really excited about that. Phoenix Heat in the summertime is a little bit different than what he's used to, but I know he's really excited about that. And anytime you're at a place where you have people that love what and care about what you're doing, it makes it so much easier. And I know he has that there, like us coaches are so blessed to have here at Baylor University.
Summertime means vacation time, and while this summer may be different, at Allen Samuels, you can always count on our huge summer clearance event. It's on. We're moving out all remaining new 2020s, every Dodge and Chrysler car and SUV, every Ram truck, and we haven't left out Jeep. They've got to go too. Deep discounts, special factory offers, and financing. It's time to say goodbye. Adios 2020s. Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Drive forward.
Bentwood Realty is a full-service real estate firm with more than 70 high-achieving agents who desire to make a positive impact in their local communities. Their agents stay actively involved in all buying, selling, and investing real estate transactions to make sure their clients receive the utmost level of service. Established in 2011 by brokers Kim Galvan and Rick Hines, both proud Baylor alumni. Call Bentwood Realty today, 254-300-4800. They're at 601 Lake Air Drive in Waco and BentwoodRealty.com.
Now, back to the Sikkim Podcast, presented by your friend in the car business, Allen Samuels, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat.
Visiting with Coach Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball coach, this week's Sikkim Podcast. Hey, be sure and download the podcast, subscribe to it wherever you get your podcast, on Apple, on Spotify. It's on the Baylor website at BaylorBears.com. Check it out, and then share on social media. And we're visiting with Coach Drew. Can we talk about last season? Do you not want to talk about last season? There's a lot to talk about there. Just the way it ended wasn't how we hoped it would end.
Well, I think first and foremost, it was such a record-setting year, and unfortunately, we didn't have a chance to finish it out to just see what records we could have had. As you and I were joking, Baylor basketball's been around 113, 114 years,
right?
And finally, we're going to get a number one seed, and the tournament gets canceled. So, but when you look back, and anytime you set a Big 12 record with 23 wins in a row, tremendous feat, breaking Kansas's record with Paul Pierce and Rafe LaFrance back in '96 and '97. That's something that stood for quite some time. And then 5 weeks ranked number one, which was longer than anyone since Kentucky in 2015. And the crowd really did a tremendous job providing the home court advantage, and the players did such a great job of showing up and competing each and every day. And from that, it turned out to be a real exciting year. And I mean, one thing that we talk about is I'll throw a couple recruiting plugs in there.
We'll take it.
You look, we're one of 7 schools that have been ranked number one in the last few years, 2017 and 2020. The only other schools are Duke, Villanova, Michigan State, Kansas, Gonzaga, Kentucky, and then and
the only school in the state of Texas that's been number one in that span also.
I think in the last decade. In
the decade, yeah.
So and then the other thing is the consistency with Power 5 schools. We're one of the few schools that have been able to win 18 or more games since 2008. So you're looking going on 12 years, and only Kansas, Duke, Michigan State, Kentucky have done that. So we're one of 5 to win 18 or more a year, which is outstanding. And then non-conference wise, we really played and competed against the best, and been blessed to have so much success since. You go 2012, for instance, you're 2-0 against Arizona, 2-1 against Kentucky, 1-0 against Louisville, Michigan State, Villanova, 2-1 against Oregon, 1-1 against Syracuse, Wisconsin. So really proud of how the teams competed over the years, but the consistency, that's something that there's 353 Division I schools, and you look at it as far as postseason appearances. We're one of 14 schools to be in postseason every year since 2012. So out of 353, again, just some stats and figures to show how consistent the teams have been, and the success that they've been able to have. And when I say they, at the end of the day, as coaches are only as good as our players, and we've been blessed to have great players and player-led programs, and that's why we've had the success we have.
And the consistency part of it, I mean, consistently very, very good. But this year was something even more special. I mean, we were sitting at 24 wins last year, we're in Kansas City, waiting on the Big 12 tournament to start. Walk everybody through that meeting room at the Intercontinental Hotel in Kansas City when things were changing by the minute, and you had to keep your guys informed, hopeful of playing there at Kansas City, but thinking, this might not happen.
Well, I think everyone has certain days and times when this happened. Where was I at, or how did I feel, or you remember? And I remember exactly the night before the tournament began, and Kansas State's playing, and in that game, all of a sudden, the players are sitting in the row in front of us. They all turn around at the same time. And we had all seen on social media that the NBA had postponed their season. And when that hit, I remember looking at my phone and saying, wow. And one of our players said, just got real.
That's right.
And at that point, I think every coach realized that things were changing really quick. And obviously hindsight's 2020, and so grateful that we did what we did at the time we did it. But at the time, just it was like, wow, postponing their season, and then we go back from preparing for a game to getting ready for a shoot-around to Big 12's tournaments canceled, and then a couple hours later NCAA tournaments canceled. And during the time in between, I was talking to several coaches, and we were trying to, from Jay Wright to Izzo to Mark Few, just what could we do within the NCAA tournament to come up if there were some good ideas that we might have. And things move so quick that we couldn't even come up with anything. But again, at the end of the day, right decisions were made. The safety of your student athletes always come first. And again, this has been a unique time and something that our nation will definitely always remember, and hopefully we'll be better off from when it's concluded.
What were some of the things y'all were kicking around, ideas? Wasn't it like maybe a smaller tournament, maybe one location?
A smaller tournament, one location, or just even having it 4 or 5 straight days where kind of you go to these exempt tournaments and you play 3 games in 3 days. Could you do something like that? And again, several ideas that we really didn't get a chance to get off the ground, but we were trying. And that was the point was just is there a way we could do this that would be safe? And obviously right decisions were made. And looking back, and I don't think anyone would argue on those.
And I shorted you 2 wins. I said 24 wins. It was 26. It was 26-4 when the season came to a screeching halt. In your heart of hearts, were you thinking?
Thanks for correcting that, by the way.
Yes. Want to get that factual. 26-4. In your heart of hearts, were you thinking, no, not this year. Come on, with this team and the way you were playing so well?
Well, I think again, you're during the time you're just trying to focus on, all right, how can we get our players back safe? What's the next step for them? And that's you're not looking at the big picture till after you're home and everyone's taken care of and safe. Then you're like, oh man, could have won the Big 12 tournament, could have won the NCAA tournament, and that's when the ifs and buts start to kick in. At the same time, as we always say, you can't look too much in the rearview mirror. So it's always on to the next thing. And right away, it was with our guys. We had several. Wanted to test the NBA market, and we've had 2 that are still exploring those options. We had to visit with the other guys and just make sure what were they thinking as far as next year goes, coming back, transferring, exploring the NBA. And then after that, obviously, you're always recruiting and then trying to figure out for the next class what you're going to need and who you're going to target. And at the same time, that's been such I know your next question is going to be, what have you been doing recruiting-wise? Yeah. And that's been everyone's done all the Zoom calls and all the FaceTime calls, but what's made that more difficult is normally you go through a process of in-home visits, campus visits, and then you get to the decision. And with us, just rearranging, okay, no home visit, okay, no campus visit, okay, and then trying to find those dates when we're going to be able to bring people to campus so we can line those up and for people that haven't had a chance to see our campus, or we always love to have our players spend a lot of time with the recruits, because at the end of the day, they're a better judge and better character reference as far as who would fit in, who they would want to play with. So that's so important to us, and just trying to find the time when we can do that next. Right now it's a dead period through August 31st, so we won't be going out and seeing anybody, and no one will be coming to campus. And the question is, will August or will September open up? And that's the next step, obviously.
Do you feel like you made some inroads? You did, the best that you could, just doing recruiting via Zoom this year?
Definitely. The feedback we got was that they liked what we did from the standpoint. Some people tend to be on there 2 or 3 hours, and recruits don't like that as much. Yeah. So I think they appreciated the concise presentations that we had, and at the same time got a chance to know Baylor University and know what Baylor stood for, what it's about. So I think definitely those were successful. At the same time, now when someone's interested, obviously the next step is getting them to campus.
Right.
So trying to figure that out because normally we'd have people in August coming to just like we'd be going to see them all July, which now we won't be able to do either.
Back to the end of your the abrupt end of your season, I felt worst for the seniors. On your team, on the women's team, women were set to be a number 1 seed. Also, it was a great year for them going. They never made it to Kansas City. But for your seniors like Freddie and Devontae and Obim, to have a great season going and then to have it end like that, everybody else can come back. I mean, they've got something in their future here at Baylor. But for those guys, it was over just so quickly. I really feel bad for them.
Well, and when you talk about seniors and you said men and women's, not many schools have both a chance to be a number 1 seed. And if you look at since 2013, football, men's and women's basketball, with 559 wins, that's the most in the country. And, there's so many great programs. Kentucky, for instance, is 68 behind us. North Carolina is 117 behind us. Texas almost 150 behind us, and it just shows how successful all the programs have been. And last year, 14 out of 17 sports teams all ranked in the top 25. Again, Baylor's been so blessed with great athletics, and starts with the leadership, Mac Rhodes, and the athletic directors, athletic department, what you do, our fans do. But we've had so much to cheer about. And you go back to the year of the Bear when most wins in baseball, football, men's, women's basketball in a year, setting an NCAA record. We maybe could have beaten that last year.
I think
and so many records that you had a chance to beat that all of a sudden got cut short. And you're right, for the seniors, that's really hard. At the same time, they'll be family for life, and now helping them pursue their goals and dreams of getting their degrees, playing professional, and then hopefully coming back and spending the summer times with us.
If you need a trailer, Flat Rock Trailers has got you covered. From light-duty single-axle utility trailers to the Big Tex tandem duals. We also carry a full line of enclosed cargo trailers. Need a motorcycle trailer? We've got them. Need a dump trailer? We've got the largest selection in the state. Oilfield trailers? We carry a full line of Big Tex trailers to handle all your needs. Trailer repairs? We repair all makes and models. We'll even rent you a trailer if you need to use one for a day. Flat Rock Trailers, your number 1 source for all your trailer needs. Find us at flatrocktrailers.com.
Relationships, community, home. Now more than ever, these are the things that we're holding fast to. Home should restore us from today and ready us for tomorrow. It's where stories are told and relationships are forged. Within those walls, memories are made, laughter is shared, and family is gathered around the table. For these reasons, we believe in home, and that right now, there is no better place to be. If you and your family are looking to buy or sell a home, head over to magnoliarealty.com. Magnolia is a proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics.
To say my wife and I have a lot to clean is an understatement. So we go to T&G Chemical, where the pros know what cleaning solutions to use and give us detailed instructions on exactly how to use them. We never got that kind of advice from any other stores. And the prices at T&G are great. From general household cleaners to odor control solutions for our pets. We go to T&G Chemical and Supply. That's why.
T&G Chemical and Supply. That's why.
Continuing our visit with Baylor men's basketball coach Scott Drew. Where are we right now? This is the first full week in July as we record this on Monday, July 6th. Originally, that was the date you were going to bring guys back. I don't think that's happening. What can you tell everybody about the onboarding process as far as you know right now?
Well, and again, with everything during COVID, things change, and obviously with the surge in Texas, originally we were hoping to bring our guys back today, and unfortunately that's not going to happen now. And I think in the next couple of weeks we'll see how things progress, but we didn't want to bring back our student athletes at a time when the numbers are surging. So we want to keep their safety first and foremost. At the same time, I know how excited they are to be back and have a chance to work out and Most of them are in places where they can get to a gym and work out, but it's definitely not the same as being with their teammates. And again, I think why our program's been so successful. Besides the vets coming back and the great student athletes you've had and the chemistry and camaraderie, but most of that gets built in the summertime. And in our summertime, we have a lot of guys that love to spend time in the gym. They're gym rats, and this is when they iron sharpens iron, as we always say. And this is when they compete, when they get better, and because of that, we have good seasons. So hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to get them back, get them in the gym, and give them an opportunity to improve and get better at what they love to do. And again, for all the state of Texas and everywhere, hopefully we can get these numbers back heading in the other direction.
How are you staying in touch with your guys? How often do you stay in touch with them?
Well, as often as they'd like. Some of them call all the time. Others of them we don't talk to as much. Really? But I think a lot depends just in their unique situation. What I mean by that is a couple guys have been on campus and they'll go home for a couple days, and we want them to enjoy family. We don't want to bother them when they're home. And the others have been home for a while. They're calling all the time, when can we come back? Because they're bored and they're ready to get back. So, but each week, I know several of us are communicating and talking with each of our guys, and they're in group texts and doing whatever to stay in touch. And we're just excited and hopeful that when they get back, we can start the season and have a season that is able to be completed. And I know the non-conferences, we mentioned some of the wins and the teams who played has been so critical for our success in conference. And one of those things is the conference tournament or the preseason tournaments. I think are great bonding experiences, and we've been really blessed to be successful in so many of them. I mean, in 2019 you win Myrtle Beach, you beat Villanova. In 2017 you win the Hall of Fame Classic and you beat Wisconsin and Creighton. And 2016 the Battle for Atlantis, Louisville, Michigan State, VCU. 2013 the NIT. That was obviously a postseason tournament. But those are, again, great bonding experiences where you really have a chance to spend 3 or 4 days or 5 days together. And that's when teams are really formed during the year. Those lasting memories are formed and created. And with us this year, we're set to go to New York, and a great tournament and a great field there with Villanova, Michigan, and NC State. So looking forward to that. And with our non-conference schedule, hopefully we can get that out soon here, and then fans can know what to put down on the calendar, because once again we'll challenge ourselves in the non-conferences. We always do.
Is that done? Is that schedule done yet, or
there's
is it still
1 or 2 contracts that we're waiting on?
Okay.
The Big 12 SEC challenge hasn't been announced yet. So again, there's still some holes and things we're waiting on. The Big 12 schedule usually comes out in the end of July, beginning of August. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks here, we'll have all that finalized and done. And until then, hoping that we continue to lower those numbers and work on that vaccine.
Amen to that.
And excited about that being here, hopefully at the end of the year. And treatments hopefully get better and better, and less people have to go to the hospital. And if they do, we can cure them and get them home soon.
Another thing that is a bit up in the air is what your roster will look like. Tell us about Maceo Teague and Jared Butler, who have put their name into the draft pool as of now. August 3rd, I think, right, is the date that they have to take their name back out and return back to school.
Correct. And that's, again, this is something where normally everything is finalized in June, and now in the beginning of June now, because of the NBA season being pushed back and the draft being pushed back, then this deadline has been pushed back to August 3rd. So both of those players, as well as anyone else still in the draft, have till August 3rd to decide if they want to stay in the draft and forgo their college eligibility, or if they want to come back. So one thing that, again, people ask all the time, don't you want them back? And absolutely, we want them back if they want to be back. At the same time, most of our players all have aspirations to play at that next level, and if they can get the feedback that they and feel comfortable where, hey, I'd love to be drafted here, this is where I think I'll be drafted, or do I come back and try to improve my stock, or do I come back because I want to win a national championship or win a Big 12 title and then have a chance to move up higher? Those are things that, again, we're supportive of our players and want what's best for them and want them to be successful. So if they can be drafted where they want to be drafted, we're all for them pursuing their goals and dreams. And if not, and they choose to come back, I know, again, most people have us predicted and projected in the top 5 for a reason, and that is we'd return a lot of our players from last year, and that'll even be more critical than ever from the standpoint limited summertime, more returning players, more chemistry, and less teaching because you have less time to develop all of that.
And you, I mean, that's real, what you said. You want what's best for those guys. You know, if that's coming back, that's great. If it's moving on and this is the best time for that, that's great also. I mean, you really want what's best for them past Baylor.
Yeah, we call it good business. If they get the feedback where they're going to be drafted where they want and feel comfortable, and that's where they'd be excited to be drafted, and that happens, then that's great because we've done our job, and then they've done their job at the same time. We don't ever want bad business, and that's if someone stays out and they're not drafted where they think or expected to be drafted. Now they're upset. Well, then we're upset because they're upset and they're not back here, and you're like, hey, we didn't have a chance to be drafted where you'd like to. So really, it's something where we are supportive and want them to reach their goals and dreams. And the great thing is the best way to move up in the draft is to win. And last year we won, but we didn't have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. And the NCAA tournament is in fact, about 80% of the people drafted play in the NCAA tournament. Why that's such a critical period is because that's for some NBA teams, that's maybe the first time a GM sees them in person or a decision maker sees them in person. And players, especially when you're playing in the Sweet 16 and Final Four, so much attention is given to them. That's where reputations are built and made.
Do you think it'll be August 3rd, or might it be before then when they have their decisions made?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Whenever they let me know, I will let you know. How about that?
That's fair. That is absolutely.
And we'll probably
fair.
all learn on Twitter at the same time. So,
Relationships, community, home. Now more than ever, these are the things that we're holding fast to. Home should restore us from today and ready us for tomorrow. It's where stories are told and relationships are forged. Within those walls, memories are made, laughter is shared, and family is gathered around the table. For these reasons, we believe in home, and that right now, there is no better place to be. If you and your family are looking to buy or sell a home, head over to magnoliarealty.com. Magnolia is a proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics.
I hate my job, but I don't mind getting up in the morning. I dread each day, but I can't wait to get out of bed. You ask me why, and what I'll say to you is true. Well, you can get breakfast tacos at Rudy's Barbecue. Scrambled eggs and brisket, they ain't fooling around. Salsa drap, son, they're the best in town. Barbecue for breakfast, yes, it's true. Put a smile on your morning at Rudy's Barbecue. Next in line.
You're listening to the Sick'em Podcast, a production of Baylor Athletics. Here again are Brooke Bednars and John Morris.
So we're waiting that decision to see if Maceo and Jared are back on the roster. Tell everybody about three guys who redshirted this year that were with us, Jordan and Jonathan and Adam. It was fun being around them. They practiced with you. They traveled with you. It'd be fun to see them, plus three new recruits that you'll have on the team this year. Highest-ranked recruiting class since 2012.
Well, we blessed, first of all, let's talk about the redshirt guys because at the end of the day, you practice practice in college so much more than you play. And if you don't have competitive practices, if you don't have good practices, then that iron can't sharpen iron, and you're not ready come game time. And so with those three guys, they helped us out so much last year in practice. And Jordan, being a freshman, was able to get bigger, stronger, and adapt to college life at the same time. He's got great length and is a skilled player and such great personality and fits in, and the guys really enjoy him and did a great job taking him under their wing. I mean, he was our only freshman, which is hard, being an only freshman. And then you turn around and you have Adam Flagler, who we had great guard play last year, and a big part of that is due to his contribution each and every day in practice. He's a two-way guy, can play on both ends of the court, so he got our guys better on the offense and defensive end every day. And again, great personality and demeanor that our team and players really love being around him. And then the front line guys benefited from John and Jonathan. We call him John in practice. Is somebody that people love how Mark Vidal has such a motor and plays with such intensity. And John is somebody every day in practice, very similar, has a great motor. He's bringing it each and every day. He's always smiling as he competes. I just saw on your photos that you flash on your screen a picture of Rico Gathers. And Rico played so hard, competed, and was so strong. And John's somebody similar in a lot of ways. Great motor like Rico, physically very strong and very athletic, and someone that got our front line better each and every day. So Jordan got the wings better, and John got the front line guys better. Adam got the guards better, and because of all that, we were able to have such a successful year. And then with the recruiting class, I'd like to talk more about them, but unfortunately, in a normal year, they'd have been here in June. We'd have had a month to work with them. I could tell you boom, bada boom, bada boom. And now we're still waiting for them to get here. And obviously a highly touted group, and starting in-state, L.J. Cryer, somebody that has won a ton of awards for not only his contributions on the court, but also in the classroom. A great student athlete who really carries himself well, and somebody that our fans and Baylor family is really going to get a chance to enjoy, and somebody that similar to the guards we have now and have had, really can do a lot of different things. Can play on the ball, off the ball, can score it and pick and roll, a great catch and shoot. So somebody that, again, fits into what kind of guards we've had in the past and have currently. And then a couple of the bigs, Zach Loveday is somebody that will really benefit once we can get him with Charlie. And Charlie's, in our opinion, best strength coach in the country. And Zach's somebody who really benefit from spending time with him, because Zach's very skilled, but as he continues to gain that strength necessary to compete in the front line in the Power 5 and the Big 12, will get better and better. And Dane Danger is somebody that again, very skilled player who can do a lot of things inside and outside, similar to Zach. But until we can get those guys around our guys and working out with us, I know it puts them behind, and that'll be for every transfer, every incoming player to a new system. They just won't have as long a time to learn the system and gain the chemistry necessary to be successful. So returning players and teams that return a lot will definitely have an advantage, especially in the start of the year.
You mentioned LJ and his success in the classroom. Let's give a pat on the back to your guys in the classroom this year. 3.62 cumulative GPA, 12 of 14 guys recorded personal best. I mean, that's getting it done academically.
And Dee Dee deserves a lot of credit for that, and obviously our the tutors and support system that work with her, and hats off to our players, because it's one thing to do well in the classroom during second semester, which is so tough because of the travel and the tournaments and whatnot. But for us, it was completely different from now you're dealing with the disappointment of not having a chance to compete and the uncertainty with things. And they did a great job changing and refocusing and finishing strong academically to set personal bests. And anytime your GPA for a basketball team is a 3.4, any sport, that's outstanding.
Your support staff is really good. Your staff is terrific. It's the best. It's the best there is. You guys have been together for the most part a long time. I have one question about Coach Tang. Is he a basketball coach that is also a really good chef, or is he a chef that also coaches really well?
Well, I think Coach Tang is just with this COVID and time at home has had a chance to perfect his cooking ability, and
yes,
now,
he has.
Now with social media, has been able to share that with the rest of the world. But not only him, AD can really bring it on the grill, and AB has picked up his game from what I understand. Unfortunately, I have no game when it comes to cooking, so I can order Domino's or Papa John's or Rosati's with the best of them, but Marco's, whatever. Yeah. But other than ordering pizza, I'm no good.
That's great. Well, sound like they're picking you up there. And how about these Be Ready sessions that Coach Brooks has done on Zoom? Seem like they've been very well received.
Well, that's our players are really good at what they do because they spend so much time at it, and our coaching staff are great at what they do because of the inner drive that they have. And during this time, Coach Brooks with Be Ready is been able to sharpen not only everybody's skills on the calls, but also thought that this was a great way to help himself and other coaches get better, and hats off to him taking advantage of this opportunity with that. And again, that a head coach is only as good as his staff, and our staff, I'm so blessed because and that's one of the toughest things about being at home in a way is I love coming to work because they make me a better man, they make me a better husband, a better father, and iron sharpens iron there as well. And spiritually, Pastor Brewer's coaches Bible studies and just the camaraderie we have, that's something that we all took for granted until this time, and then Zoom calls just aren't the same.
Yeah. Well, it's a terrific staff. It really is. Y'all work so well together, all with the same single-minded purpose. And you said it best: iron sharpens iron, and you guys all make each other better. We appreciate your time. Thanks. It's great to catch up with you. And so, what do you do now? What do you do when we finish this and you go back home?
I actually jump on a Zoom call.
A Zoom call. All right. You go do that.
Well, and it's impressive. I see some white in your eyes. I understand we have a new child in your family. So
yes, absolutely.
If you want to elaborate on that.
Are you talking about the four-legged child?
The four-legged child, yes.
In the Morris household, we have a golden doodle named Annie, and I'm going to here's what I'm going to do for you. I'll make sure my wife talks to your wife and see if you can have a golden doodle in your family.
That's one thing I've heard. Pet increase definitely during COVID.
Yes.
The numbers have gone through the roof. So.
Yes, that's great. I had to clarify if you were talking a four-legged one or the grandson, Turner, Beard. Is relatively new. He's 4 months old now.
Yeah, that's old
4
news
months
now.
now.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you've had a chance, hopefully, to really enjoy the grandkids during this time too.
Yeah,
so.
we've been careful, but we've had a lot of time with them, and it's been great. It's great to spend some time with you. Be safe, and let's get things back to as close to normal as we can. So.
And to the Baylor family out there, we can't wait to see you this fall. So you be safe out there. Take care of yourself, and hopefully we give you a lot to cheer for. Be excited about come fall and winter.
Look forward to it. Coach Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball. We are missing Brooke Bednarz this week. Hopefully she'll be back with us next week. We appreciate Coach Drew, and thanks for tuning in to this week's Sick'em podcast. We'll be back with more next week.
You've been listening to the Sick'em podcast, presented by your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Waco. Online at alansamuelsdcj.com. The Sick'em podcast has been a production of Baylor Athletics.